Here is another question directed to Dr. Sproul. Will you explain secondary and primary causes in relation to God's providence?
Yes, we make this distinction. It goes back to 17th century Protestant orthodoxy of primary and secondary causality. It's an attempt to look at the way in which our actions as human beings are carried out under the sovereign power of God in His providence. The classic example of this is found in the doctrine of concurrence, which is seen in the event of the betrayal of Joseph by his brothers when they had him sold into slavery. And when they are reunited, and at the end of the book of Genesis, the brothers realize that the prime minister in front of them is their long-lost brother, and he is now at the acme of power there and can exercise retribution against them. They're terrified. And Joseph tries to put them at ease. And he said, no, look, don't make me in place of God. I'm not going to exact vengeance here. He said, listen, you meant it for evil. Your acts were evil. Your intentions were evil. Your will was used to carry out an evil deed. But over above your actions, God meant it for good. So that in that case, their actions were really their own. But they are secondary causes. All of our causality is secondary causes. I can't raise my hand alone by my own power except by the sustaining power of God's providence in this world and in my life. Paul tells us that in Him we live and we move and have our being. My life is not independent. My motion is not independent. My being is not independent. I can't be, I can't live, I can't move apart from the sovereign power of God who energizes all things. God alone possesses what we call primary causality. That is, ultimate sovereign power over all things. All of my actions, all of the things that I make happen, the things that I cause to come into effect, is always dependent on the primary power of God. I am only a secondary causal agent.